Now it's recording. I think we are live, hopefully. Let me just check. Okay, this is live stream. That's very good. I think I'm getting the message, so it's very good. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Śrī Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Śrī Lakshmi Hayavatara Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Śrī Kṛṣṇarpanam Astu. Okay, very good. So now, so what we're going to do is we are going to continue with Madhva bhāṣya on second chapter, and this class will not be very long class. I have prepared for only few verses of Madhva bhāṣya. Timing, I'm trying to do so many things. I think that's a problem, but no excuses. I should have worked harder. Let me share my screen. That's not PowerPoint. This is the one. Share. Let's see. Lecture 175. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, this particular verse we completed last time, but I'm just going to restate what I said in the last class just for continuity. This particular verse is important because it's coming from Atharvana Shruti, which is Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad, and Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad is very powerful Upanishad. One day we will have to go through the entire Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad from beginning to end, using all the bhāṣyas, and that we'll probably do pretty soon after finishing Kenopanishad and maybe Kathopanishad. So, Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtham nanyachreyo vedayante pramodhaha nakasya prishte sukrite te anubhutva imam lokam hinataram va vishanti. So what this says is, let me change the screen thing a little bit. Okay. So Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtham means people who do public service like constructing wells, lakes, and some yajnas also. Yajnas given in the Shastras. They think that these are the only ways for spiritual progress. Sounds reasonable, right? Sounds reasonable because they are not being selfish. They work for the public, for the community. So it's good in a way, yes. But what the Shastras, that is Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad, say is that they only go to Svarga and enjoy the benefits for some time for all their good deeds. However, after some time, all those good deeds will be spent away. All the good work will be spent away. The effects will go away. They have to come back here to earth in some other life, or to even lower regions, and the lower regions that are filled with darkness, filled with ignorance. Hinataram va vishanti. Hinataram means lower births. This is the verse we completed. Madhvācārya quotes this Muṇḍaka Upaniṣad in support of what he is trying to impart. His summary is very simple. Those who are focused on Viṣṇu are superior, and even if they do some mistakes, their mistakes will not have severe bad effects. They experience lesser effects of their mistakes or sins or papas. While the other people who are against Viṣṇu, who oppose Viṣṇu, who do not like Viṣṇu, who hate Viṣṇu, all those people, how much ever good they try to do, they're all useless. Eventually they they lead them, they go to lower births. This is the idea Madhvacharya is trying to impart to everybody. And interesting note, what I thought was the strategy of Madhvacharya in interpreting the Bhagavad Gītā or Upanishads or several other Vedantic texts. Can anyone think of what strategy Madhvacharya uses? Because this strategy is very unique, and well, there may be some commonality with Rāmānuja, only some, but not so much common to Śaṅkaracharya's view. The strategy is different. Can anybody think about the strategy Madhvacharya uses?
Trying to induce bhakti through some amount of fear of the negative, the lower lokas of that way.
There's one viewpoint. What about others?
Is it the dependence on Viṣṇu for everything?
That's one thing. Yes, that's good. Both are good. Any other view? I'm talking about a textual strategy. How does he interpret the text of these scriptures? So there are obviously by now all of you agree that Bhagavad Gītā or Upanishads can be interpreted slightly differently based on the text, right? And that's understandable. Even before Rāmānuja, according to Vedanta Deshika, there were 95 different Bhagavad Gītā bhāṣyas. That's very interesting. So the original text, or any text for that matter, can have a slightly different interpretation based on the context the reader uses. So interpretations are definitely possible, slightly different. But Madhvacharya uses a special technique to interpret texts.
One thing is Madhvacharya always brings in directly the concept of Lord at a very early stage compared to Ramanuja. Ramanuja actually takes it based on the individual self.
True, that is true. Almost for the first 6 chapters, Rāmānuja says the focus is on the individual self, and Madhvacharya brings in Viṣṇu or the Lord very early in the 2nd chapter itself. So that's true. But what I'm talking about is textual strategy. To understand every verse of each of the scriptures, Madhvacharya uses a strategy to understand it. Okay, let me explain to you what that answer is. What I'm thinking, I'm sure all of you are right in different ways. But looking at the text, what Madhvacharya uses is, Madhvacharya relies on the Purāṇas and other texts, Mahabharata, Purāṇas, Brahmatarka, Moksha Dharma, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Naradiya Purāṇa, different other texts which are Smṛtis, and almost tries to get a close to the original verse. Suppose there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gītā, or any verse for that matter, right? He somehow picks up a similar verse in some other Purāṇa or some other Smriti Grantha. It could be any Grantha. He picks it up, and it will be almost like an exact match with the verse he's trying to interpret. And he uses that particular verse he quotes. It could be a verse of Bhagavan itself to somebody in Purāṇa. It could be a verse from Narada. It could be a verse from somebody, some Rishi or somebody in that Purāṇa who states that verse. And he takes that this should be the meaning of this particular verse. So he relies heavily on the explanations given by the rishis. In some other context, in some other Purana, maybe the context doesn't matter, but information he tries to match up with the words of the rishis. See, to some extent, all these acharyas do it, but this is very significant in the Madhvacharya's bhāṣyas. And we have seen it a lot, and the same trend continues. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is this clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we'll continue with this.
I have a question here. Usually, I mean,
Yeah.
we have heard that verses in the Vedas or the Vedanta cannot be interpreted based on one's own understanding, but it has to be supported by text like the Itihasas, Purāṇas. Even though Ramanuja and Śaṅkaracārya have actually relied on such support, is there any, because you are telling that Madhvacharya has gone much more extensively on this, was there any particular thought in Ramanuja and Śaṅkaracārya why they have not gone in this particular path?
It could be, see, honestly, I don't have a very good answer you're asking. Your question needs a lot of thought. What I think is the trend was initiated by Gaudapadacharya. Gaudapadacharya leaned heavily to Buddhism. And similarly, Śaṅkaracārya followed that type of thought. And that was prominence to Vedanta first. That is, ignore the Karma Kanda or don't give too much importance to Karma Kanda and then focus on Jnana only. And that focus on Jnana itself was sort of similar approach to Buddhism, because Buddhism is very Jnana focused, even though, and they don't need any particular, just a second, my internet is unstable. I just want to check my internet is working. Hold on a second. Just a second. It should be okay, whatever the reason is, okay. So coming back, Śaṅkaracārya started a different trend. Can we say Śaṅkaracārya did not quote from the Puranas? That's not true. Śaṅkaracārya quotes from Viṣṇu Purana. Śaṅkaracārya does not quote from Bhagavata. And maybe Rāmānuja immediately wanted to focus on the types of texts accepted by Śaṅkaracārya to counter and to modify that kind of viewpoint and counter Śaṅkaracārya. Rāmānuja used the same kind of text Śaṅkaracārya refers to. So predominantly heavily leaning towards the Vedas and Upanishads. That's a possibility. And mainly quoting Viṣṇu Purana, mainly not other Puranas. Rāmānuja also quotes heavily from Viṣṇu Purana. Later on, in the Vishishtadvaita thought, Vedanta Deshika quotes, when Vedanta Deshika quotes, just a second, Vedanta Deshika quotes from, 1 second, just a second, please. So Vedanta Deshika quotes heavily from Puranas, Bhagavata and so on. I have not really focused and tried to understand in depth how many Puranic quotations are used by Vedanta Deshika in the Tatparya Chandrika, which is his explanation of Bhagavad Gītā. That is an interesting thought. And I can talk to some of my friends, Narasimhan, who wrote Tatparya Chandrika completely in English, which is available on Shadagopan.org. So I can talk to Narasimhan and let you know if Vedanta heavily quoted from Purāṇas almost as much as from like Madhvācārya. I don't think so, but I can check and let you know how he leaned. So I really don't have a very good answer at this point. I can talk to some people and let you know. All right?
Okay.
Any other question before we go deeper into Madhva bhāṣya? I guess not. Okay, next. Let me show them. Vedavadarato nasyan na pashanti na hetuki iti hi bhagavate. This verse also we did it. One should not indulge and be influenced by people who do not know the in-depth meanings of the Vedas, and they only take superficial meanings of the Vedas and then create their own philosophies. So what we are trying to talk about Vedas is a very complicated information. It is not easy to take the right path. See, Veda is also scientific, Vijnana. But Vedas deal with science which heavily involve the spiritual aspects of life. That is mind, consciousness, self, Supreme Lord, Brahman. They're all spiritual concepts. So Vedas heavily deal with spiritual concepts, but they are scientific in the sense that they are repeatable, they can be tested, they can be verified by experimentation. But this experimentation is very hard in terms of spiritual aspects, because in terms of science, physical science, even though the particles are very small, like electrons or some beta particles, alpha particles, or some kind of gamma rays or something, they are beyond our direct human sight. But with some very good instrumentation, they can be visual, they can be experimentally verified. So science has, even though it is, you can ask, have you conducted, experiments on electromagnetism and really found out, really checked out? We can say that the scientists have, and we trust them, and we in the right laboratories, people are still evaluating them. But the problem is because spiritual scriptures deal with life after death, rebirth, and so many things, it's hard for human beings to experiment them and figure out what the truth is. So experimental truth, we probably have to believe in the rishis who have had such experiences. So that is why we heavily rely on their words. And their words are enshrined in the Purāṇas and Itihasas and things, and even Smṛtis. So coming back here, that is why these concepts in the Vedas are difficult. So superficial understanding, many people can only get a superficial understanding. And first of all, people have left studying Vedas. People have given up studying Vedas. They're very much now more materially oriented. So there's a greater problem. So what this says is, Vedavadarato nasyat, don't have superficial knowledge of Vedas. Do not become a Pashandi. Pashandi is who run away from the truth, or run away from the real essence. And according to here, what Pashandi is, Pashupata and other matas are Pashandi matas. That is what Madhvācārya states in some other place. Nahaituki, also just do not focus on dry reason. Just reasoning alone will not give you the truth. That is said in the Bhagavatam. The next, Yena jananti tam Viṣṇum yatha tatyena samshayat jignāsas Okay, here it's important. Some people do not know Viṣṇu properly, truly, because they have doubts. Why should I believe in Viṣṇu? There are so many hymns in the Rig Veda on Agni rather than Viṣṇu. So Agni should be prayed to rather than Viṣṇu. So the thing is, even in the text, there's so much of complication and doubts can come. So people who really didn't understand Viṣṇu as the highest, they have problems. They have erroneous knowledge. So what should you know? By knowing the Shastras well, one should have determined that Viṣṇu is the highest, Sarvottama, and Viṣṇu is Svatantra. He is the only independent person, independent power in the universe. And everything, all the devatas, all the deities, everything, including all of us, are all dependent entities, dependent people. So these people who do not know the truth about the Vedas have lingering doubts. One day they may think that they are convinced that Viṣṇu is the highest. But later on, someday, when their life changes, oh, I used to believe in all these things, I don't believe in them anymore. So they lose. So do not follow such people who have lingering doubts. That's what Madhvācārya says. Some people, some people can be difficult to understand. For example, they're very nice people, saintly people. They seek knowledge. They're constantly seeking knowledge, and they never give up on the study of the Vedas and practice of the Vedas. However, they lack the true knowledge of who is Viṣṇu, the nature of Viṣṇu, because they lack that knowledge and they don't even have the good teachers who have given them the truth. Those people should be avoided. And those people, they may get Svarga. They may be so great. They may just go to Svarga right away. And then they have to come back because they don't have the true knowledge of Viṣṇu. Nishchitam paratvam tu Viṣṇoho prayo nayatanam brahmahatyadibihi brahmahatyadibirapi yanti adhikechanam natu. Vishesha eva tesham tu tadanyesham viparyaha. This sentence was not there in the original. It is in another textbook, so we wrote it down. Ye tu bhagavatācārya samyak yajñādi kurvate. So there are people, so the belief in Viṣṇu, even though a person has other problems, other issues, belief in Viṣṇu is so powerfully useful for that person. So what does it do? Once a person decides that Viṣṇu is the highest, that's all they require. They might have a lot of other problems, but all those problems will go away because of the blessings of Viṣṇu. So what can they do? If they have firm conviction in Viṣṇu, Viṣṇu is going to protect them. Viṣṇu is the highest. Nobody else can help. If they have the firm conviction, even if for some reason they have killed a Brahmana, they have murdered, or even done even worse sins, the effects of those sins, the bad effects will be reduced. So the thing is, they will not experience suffering for too long because of their bad activities. This is not saying that you should, start having firm conviction in Viṣṇu, and then you can do any kind of bad thing. You can kill anybody, you can do whatever you want to do. That is not the purpose here. The purpose here is you should definitely stay away from bad activities. But having Viṣṇu as the highest and having that firm conviction is supremely useful for you. So even after committing bad papas or sins, you will come back and faster from suffering. You will get rid of suffering faster. And on the other hand, for those who are opposed to Viṣṇu, those who hate Viṣṇu, those who don't even think that Viṣṇu is the right person to pray to, they won't even get Svarga given after performing Ashwamedha Yaga. Ashwamedha Yaga is supposed to be a sacrifice, yajna, which will guarantee somebody's transit into Svarga. But if a person hates Viṣṇu, he will not even get Svarga with all the good things he is doing. Bahirmukha bhagavato nivrittascha vikarmanaha dakshinarpitanam to hyacharyanam to tejasa. So the thing is, those who are bahirmukha means they are against Bhagavan, they are against Viṣṇu. But they might have completely given up bad activities. They won't do any sin. They are very nice people. They have completely given up all sinful activities. That doesn't matter. Because if they do yajnas, just because they did yajnas and gave the Bhagavatas, that is the people who orchestrated, they implemented, helped him out in the yajna, those Bhagavatas, just because he gave some money or dakshina, they don't even say money, it's known as dakshina. When they give that offerings to those kind Bhagavatas or Viṣṇu Bhaktas, just by the blessings of those Viṣṇu Bhaktas, this person can go to heaven, he can get Svarga. But because he is opposed to Viṣṇu internally, that person quickly will lose Svarga. He will come back again and go to deep darkness and ignorance. Yanti Svargam tata kshipram tamondham prapnuvanti cha. Kshipram means very quickly, after spending a little time in Svarga, in heaven, comes back and goes into deep darkness. Tadanye naivacha Svargam yanti Viṣṇur bahirmukhaha. So those people who are opposed to Viṣṇu and tadanye naivacha Svargam yanti. So one second. Tadanye naivacha Svargam yanti Viṣṇu. One second, please. Tadanye naivacha Svargam yanti Viṣṇur bahirmukhaha. So the thing is, the first sentence refers to people who are bahirmukhaha. That means who are against Viṣṇu. But they somehow are friendly and they respect the Bhagavatas. And so they give the fees for the yajnas the Bhagavatas conduct. Because of the blessings of the Bhagavatas, that is the devotees of Viṣṇu, they can go to Svarga, but they will have to come back quickly. They don't enjoy Svarga for a long time. But the other people who do yajnas, but they don't get the blessings of the Bhagavatas because they do not use Bhagavatas. They do not work with Bhagavatas. They do not support Bhagavatas. Bhagavatas are the devotees of Viṣṇu. Because of that, they won't even go to Svarga. They lose even that. And this is said in the Naradiya Purāṇa. Is this clear? There are two types of people here. Both are opposed to Viṣṇu. But the first category is those who give dakshina to the devotees of Viṣṇu when they conduct yajnas. And those people will go to Svarga and come back quickly because they are opposed to Viṣṇu. But the second category who was opposed to Viṣṇu, but still they don't even honor the Viṣṇu Bhaktas or the devotees of Viṣṇu. They don't even go to Svarga. So even though they did a powerful yajna which guarantees you to heaven, the guarantee is taken out. They lose the guarantee.
Swami?
Uh-huh.
What does Bahirmukha actually mean?
Bahirmukha is facing outward. Bahihi means outward. Antarmukha means inward. Here, the context in which Madhvācārya understands, and maybe in the original whatever reference materials he gives, Bahihi means outside Viṣṇu. That is, they are turned away from Viṣṇu. That is the meaning of Bahirmukha.
Oh, okay.
Any other question? Everything okay till now? All right. traiguṇya-viṣayā vedaha nistraiguṇyo bhavarjuna nirdvandvo nityasattvasto niryoga-kṣema atmavan. See, this is, in general, these acharyas have similar meaning, similar understanding of this verse. However, the way each acharya understands this verse is very different. See, I want to spend a little bit more time on these kind of verses because second chapter is very fundamental to all acharyas, but very fundamental to Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya, where Śaṅkarācārya uses second chapter to decide and determine the very essence of the whole of Bhagavad Gītā. And similarly, in the same context, but opposed to the view of Śaṅkarācārya, Madhvācārya establishes his bhakti view and the power of Viṣṇu, Kṛṣṇa, right away in the second chapter, and he denies anything Advaita, anything as merger of all of us into one entity. That kind of merger concept, Madhvācārya completely denies here. So, because their approach and ideologies are different, the way they make meanings out of the same verses, same original verses, is quite different. Let's see. traiguṇya-viṣayā Veda, we'll come to the essence of this verse after going through the bhāṣya of Madhvācārya. Tam yoga buddhimaha traiguṇya-viṣayā ityadina itarad apodhya. So the thing is, what is the yoga buddhi? That is the focus. Interestingly, one of the Madhva followers, Madhvācārya followers, says this yoga buddhi is explained all the way from this verse 45, 2.45, all the way to the end of the 6th chapter. That's interesting. He has mentioned 6th chapter because in the Rāmānuja bhāṣya, till the end of 6th chapter, the focus is on the Jīvatma. But here, Madhvācārya says it's not about Jīvatma, but yoga buddhi, whatever is the implementation of the true knowledge. So that's an interesting, connect between these two bhāshyas. Tam yoga buddhimaha traiguṇya-viṣayā ityadi na itarat apodhya. That means the traiguṇya-viṣayā means they talk about three gunas. Three guna means sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. Right? Sattva is purity. Tamas is stupor or ignorance. Rajas is activity, passion, actions, and things like that. So these three gunas, the Vedas refers to these three gunas. Vedas may even give you a lot of information about how to achieve goals here and hereafter, like the Svarga. Here means having good children, wealth, and other kinds of benefits here while we are living here. So superficially, the Vedas are supporting, go get all these things, do all these yajnas, do whatever the methods prescribed by the Vedas, and you will get all the benefits. This is not the true meaning of the Vedas. It's only a superficial meaning of the Vedas. Vedanam paroksharthatvat, because the Vedas are indirect in their approach. It's very interesting because these give an entire strategy of understanding Upanishads, understanding the Karmakanda from different perspectives. Vedanam paroksharthatva means they indirectly deliver information. They don't directly tell you that. They are very indirect. That's what Veda, that is sort of understood by every acharya. Triguna sambandhi swargadi pratiti pratitutortha iva bhavati. So superficially, the Vedas seem to support the idea that, to cater to people's gunas, that is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic gunas. The Vedas have lots of information. Okay, do this yajna, you will go to Indra Loka. Do this yajna, you will get quick relief from problems here. So there are so many methods prescribed to achieve so many goals, which are all related to triguna sambandhi. Triguna means the material gunas. Parokṣavādi vedoyamiti hi yuktam. Pratitito artho iva bhati means it appears that Vedas are only giving you this information, but that is not the true meaning of the Vedas. So traiguṇya-viṣayā Veda, nistraigunyo bhavarjuna. The way Madhvācārya makes a meaning out of it is traiguṇya-viṣayā Veda means trigunas have problems and they are visha. Viṣaya is visha, the word visha, Madhvācārya understands it as poison. So there are poison in, that is, there is some poison in all the triguna related activities. Sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic activities have some poison in them. Those poison have to be removed. That has to be cured. The poison has to be neutralized. The methods of neutralization is given in the Vedas. Nistraigunya means neutralization of the bad effects of the three gunas. And that is all contained in the Vedas. That's what Madhvācārya understands. Then he understands the rest of the words slightly differently. Nirdvandvaha, Nitya-sattvastaha, Niryoga-kṣema Atman. We will see what Madhvācārya says about this. Ataha pratitike ke arthe भ्रांतिं मा कुरु इत्यर्थः. So don't be deluded by superficial meanings of Vedas. Go deep into it. If you cannot understand, go find a very good Acharya Guru who can help you out. Vado Viṣaya Kritvam Kritvam Viṣayakatvam Kritvam Cha Mukhato Vachanam Smṛtam. So the Vada means arguments with superficial meaning. Vada is also meant as the word Vada also means superficial words, superficial meaning. That's given in some Abhidhana, means it's understood somewhere. Natu Veda Paksho Nishidyate Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purāṇe Bhārate Tata. So when you say Nistraiguṇyo Bhavarjuna, right? Nistraiguṇyo Bhavarjuna means do not get Nistraiguṇya means make sure you are cured from the poisonous effects of trigunas. This doesn't mean, traiguṇya-viṣayā Veda means the Vedas talk about catering to the people with three gunas of different levels. But does it mean that Vedas are bad? So does it mean that Vedas are wrong? Do not follow the Vedas? That is not the meaning. Natu Veda Paksho Nishidyate. So the content of the Vedas is not denied. The truth of the Veda is always upheld. But do not have superficial understanding of the Vedas. That is the warning Madhvācārya gives. Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purāṇe Bhārate Tatha Ādāvante Cha Madhye Cha Viṣṇu Sarvatra Gīyate. That's what is the next sentence. So in the Vedas, in the Ramayana, and also in the Purāṇas, also in the Mahabharata, Ādau Ante Cha Madhye Cha, in the beginning, middle, and the end. What is said? Viṣṇu is extolled. Viṣṇu is the greatest. His glory is extolled in the beginning, end, and the middle of all these scriptures, including the Vedas. So Vedas are very important, and all these are not opposing to each other. Ramayana, Purāṇa, Mahabharata, Vedas, they impart the same meaning in different ways. And what do they impart? They say Viṣṇu is the highest. Sarve Vedaha Yatpadamamananti. This one is from Kathopanishad. All the Vedas talk about this Viṣṇu according to Madhvācārya. Vedo khilo dharma moolam smriti shile cha sattadvidam. Vedas are the source of dharma. Long time back, I talked to you people about dharma. Does anybody remember anything what I said about Dharma? This was a while ago. We in fact deviated from Bhagavad Gītā to talk about Dharma for several classes. Does anybody remember?
Dharma can denote Viṣṇu itself.
No, that is in according to Madhvācārya, right? I'm talking about the word Dharma.
That one which holds is Dharma, Dharyate eti Dharma.
That is one meaning. What I'm asking is, we spent 4 classes on the word Dharma in the past. See, we have finished 175 classes. Today is 175th class. But in the past, somewhere there, if I remember, lecture 48, 49, 50, 51. In these 4 classes, we focused on the word Dharma. That's what I wanted to let you know, that if anybody remembers what I talked about.
Dharmo Vishwasya Jagatah Pratishtha. Is that meaning?
That is one meaning of Dharma. See, incidentally, since Champakamami, you are asking, I will tell you the reason why I brought this up.
Yes.
There are 4 different lectures given by, maybe 4 or 10 or whatever, right? I found only 4 lectures given by Rangamahaguru on Dharma, only the word Dharma. They are phenomenal lectures because most people don't understand the depth. Dharma means people think that it is charity. Giving, oh, that guy is a very dharmika person. He gives a lot of money to the poor people. That's how we have understood Dharma. But Dharma is very, very deep.
Deep. That's it. No.
And that, if you want to go into depths of Dharma, one day listen to lectures number, I think 48, 49, 50, 51 of this Bhagavad Gītā series. And I think somebody talked about Dharma. If I remember, Srinath Iyengar asked me this question about Dharma. And what is Dharma? And he also talked about Vedas. Can it be imparted to anybody? There are restrictions on Vedas. Veda Adhyayana restrictions are there. And can it be imparted? And is Pranava open to all people? Pranava is the Omkara in the Vedas. Is that open to all people? These kind of questions came at that time. And then somebody, then the word Dharma came up and said that, okay, this is Dharma and this is Adharma. What is Dharma? What is Adharma? One has to understand. Right now, I don't want to go back to those 4 lectures because please go refer to the 4 lectures.
See, one point I remember that that one which doesn't make you get down or slip down by any of your action.
True.
That is Dharma.
True. There are many meanings of Dharma and there are some core meanings of Dharma. The very essential aspects of Dharma. That is mentioned by Rangamahaguru, and then I took advantage of that lecture and summarized. It took me 3 weeks to work very hard to summarize that. Please go check it out. It is for your own good. You will find something so new to it, new, and you probably, I'm sure you already heard about it because those lectures are 100 lectures back we did it. So check it out. That's all. Okay, let's go back to our purpose today. Vedo khilo dharma moolam. So if one has to understand Dharma, you have to go understand Vedas completely. So you cannot find Dharma anywhere else. You have to go to Vedas to understand Dharma. So Dharma involves, in short, I'll come just to remind you, Dharma means nature. That's all, right? Nature means, who are we? We are very complicated people. Eyes have their Dharma. Eyes can only see. Ears have their Dharma. Ears can only hear. But you are caught in the middle. You are inside this body. You cannot run away from your body. So you constantly or working with other things around you. Matter has dharma, the stone has dharma, water has dharma, everything has its nature. Water can cool, stone can cause injury, or stone can be used as a building material. So everything, our mind, our consciousness, our intelligence, all these things have dharmas. But who are you? You are caught inside this body, mind, intelligent complex, which for each of them they have dharmas. So body has problems with habits, right? That is, if you have bad habits, that will continue. The bad habits will linger a longer time. You cannot win over bad habits. For example, some people smoke, and to quit smoking, they have to go to a doctor and go through some, few years of medicines to get out of quit smoking. So the thing is, each of our body parts have got their dharma. Vedo kilo dharma moolam. That what is right, ultimately what is right is dharma. Dharma is the bridge between here and Paramatma. So dharma also means Kṛṣṇa also. Krishnam dharmam sanatanam. So Kṛṣṇa himself is dharma. So if you want to know Kṛṣṇa, you have to see Vedas. So dharma has very different set of meanings. Dharma is also the path which take you to the highest goal. Smriti shile cha tadvidam. That means these Vedas have this dharma, and in the Smriti are the remembrances of the rishis. The rishis wrote the Smritis. Yajnavalkya Smriti, Barha Smriti, Vasishta Smriti. There are so many Smritis. There are writings of these rishis, and their shila is their nature. The people who are Vedikas, their lifestyle, and they know the knowledge, tadvidam, and who know the people who know about the Vedic lifestyle. Acharashchaiva sadhunam, that is how the sadhus behave. Atmanattva, that means it finally brings happiness to Kṛṣṇa within us, or happiness to us also. Veda, so that is dharma. Veda pranahito dharmo hyadharmas tad viparyaha. If you go against the Vedas, that will become adharma. If it becomes adharma, it will hurt you. You will be unhappy. You will be unhappy here and hereafter. So if you want ultimate happiness, follow dharma. So everybody wants ultimate happiness, right? So what is the purpose of the Vedas? To give you ultimate happiness. That's the whole point. We should not forget that. But to understand your ultimate goal and happiness, you need to understand Vedas. Iti Vedanam sarvatmana Viṣṇu paratvoktehe. And if you want to know what is in the Vedas, the Viṣṇu paratva, Viṣṇu is the highest, Viṣṇu is the helper, Viṣṇu is the only resort you have, because he is independent. That is emphasized in the Vedas. Tad vihitasya, tad viruddhasya cha, dharma dharmatva uktehe. So what is dharma is what is said in the Vedas. And what that is essentially Viṣṇu is the highest. And what is against the Vedas? If somebody does not like Viṣṇu or opposes Viṣṇu or hates Viṣṇu, that becomes adharma, and that causes eventually downfall, degradation, sorrow. Traiguṇya-viṣayā visham yapayanti apagamayanti traiguṇya-viṣayā. So the way Śaṅkara, Madhvācārya says is traiguṇya-viṣayā Vedaha means there is a poison hidden in all these traigunas, the trigunas, and the Vedas will cure you of the poison. Ashtritya Vedanstu Pumans traiguṇya-viṣahārinaha nistraiguṇyo bhaven nityam vasudevaika samṣayah iti cha. Sattvam sadhu. So Madhvācārya quotes from somewhere. He doesn't say where he quotes from. This verse is from some Purāṇas. Ashritya Vedanstu Pumans traiguṇya-viṣayā. Person who resorts to the Vedas, a person will get medicine or gets cured by the poisons due to three gunas. Nistraiguṇyo bhave nityam vasudevaika samṣayah. You become cured of the bad effects of trigunas by focusing on and resorting to Vasudeva, who is Viṣṇu. Sattvam sadhugunat Viṣṇuratma santati hetutaha. Continue in the process of devotion to Viṣṇu, and that will become that will make you pure, and that is saintly attitude to have. Santata Viṣṇu smaranam nitya sattvastham. So in the verse, okay, let's go back to the verse. Okay, traiguṇya-viṣayā vedāni traiguṇyo bhavarjana. Now Madhvācārya is explaining what does nirdvandvo means. Nirdvandvo nitya sattvastho. Right? For that, santata Viṣṇu smaranam nitya sattvastham. It continuously remembering Viṣṇu is nitya sattvastha. That means eternally being pure, sattvic. Paramatma mamaswamiti jnanam atmatattvam. So knowing that Viṣṇu is my Lord, jnanam atmatattvam, that is atmatattva. See, in general, Rāmānuja.org may say atmatattva means they usually say atma is Jīvatma, and then atmatattva means essential knowledge of Jīvatma. That's what Rāmānuja.org may say, but might have said in the Ramanuja bhāṣya. But for Madhvācārya, Atmatattva means dependence on Hari. That's only. But Rāmānuja is not against, but approach is different. Tenaikya jnanam nivarayati. Here he says, look, if you know that Viṣṇu is my Lord, then you will be got rid of your feeling, or you might your error of thinking that you are Brahman, you are Viṣṇu. That Aikya Jnana or oneness knowledge is cured. That is a disease. If you think that you are Viṣṇu, that is a disease. You have to get rid of the disease. That is poison that will destroy you. So Aikya Jnana will destroy. That's the idea of Madhvācārya. Viruddha yoga kshema ichha varjitaham anyatho utthanat rerapi apyayogat. What is what do you call? You should have no interest in things which will destroy your devotion to Viṣṇu. If it destroys your conviction in Viṣṇu, anything in this world, you have to give them up. You should not have any attachment to that. Yoga kshema means to acquire and hold on to. That is what kshema means, to protect what you have. Yoga means to get something you don't have. So anything which opposes Viṣṇu, your bhakti or devotion to Viṣṇu should be given up. Anyathottanatir apyayogat. So his meaning says that he's justifying his meaning. Madhvācārya's meaning says that any other meaning is not appropriate. Even because what do you call
இல்ல பரவாயில்ல நடத்துக்கோவேன் உள்ள இருக்கேன்.
Oh, mommy, please mute yourself. Please mute
Sorry,
yourself. Yavanatta udapane.
A question in the last slide.
Okay, please go ahead.
In the second line, can you please explain the second line?
Paramatma mamaswami iti jnanam atmatattvam, right?
Yeah. Well, what is it?
The true knowledge or jnanam of knowing that Viṣṇu is my Lord. Paramatma is Viṣṇu, he is my Lord. And that knowledge is the Atmatattva. That is the essential nature of spiritual knowledge.
So is Madhvācārya saying that the Atmatattva is denoting Paramatma, or the knowledge that he is my Swami. So mama here denotes Jivatma, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So mama, the Jivatma being subservient to Paramatma itself is Atmatattvam. Is that what he is trying to say?
True.
So together, both of them together is Atmatattvam, right? For him.
Yeah. Say Atmatattva means one independent Paramatma, and all of us are dependent. The dependency is the main substance and core of the knowledge of Atman. So if spiritual knowledge, take Atmatattva as just spiritual knowledge. Just take it for, don't worry about Atma Paramatma here. But this true spiritual knowledge is the dependency of all of us on Mahavishnu, who is Paramatma. That's all.
So, no, what I'm trying to understand from you, I get your point completely. What I'm trying to understand is that, so does this statement also not completely reject the complete separateness of Jivatma and Paramatma?
Of course.
Oh.
That is the whole purpose, saying that knowing that you will never be one with Paramatma. You are always dependent. You are always a beggar and he is the giver. Knowing that you are completely dependent on Vishnu. That is Atmatattva. That is true knowledge. And you should have not even a iota of feeling that you are one with Vishnu. You should not. Tenaikya jnanam nivarayate. Hence, aikya jnana or oneness, merger or anything, all this knowledge is erroneous, wrong, and that is rejected here.
Yeah, so in the third line he rejects oneness, and in the second line he doesn't talk about complete separateness as well, right?
He talks about separation in the second line. Dependency is separation.
So maybe I should try to rephrase my question. Knowing that Paramatma is my Swami, that entire knowledge is the knowledge of Atmatattva, right?
True.
Not just that Paramatma is Atma. That is not how he is saying, no? That is how I'm trying to understand, Swami.
See, focus on the word Swami, right? Paramatma is the Lord, my Lord. That is the true knowledge, and not that I am one with Paramatma. I am never one with Paramatma. That's all.
Okay.
Yavanartha udapane sarvataha sampurutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. See, here it is a little bit difficult in Madhva bhāṣya, because he does some kind of a special meaning here. He takes a special meaning. Why is it important? Because Vedas talks about karma kanda. Vedas talk about kamya karmas, right? And there is a vijanataha, means a person who is knowledgeable. And for a knowledgeable person, what does he do with the kamya karmas? And this becomes complicated. So now we don't have much time, because it's already 7:45. Today I have to stop and pick up this shloka in the next class. We are going deeper so that we clearly understand the difference. See, all these are related. We are talking about, see, I could not do Trayanta Saramrita, which is the work of the Parakalamana Swamiji, for a couple of weeks, because I didn't understand certain things. And now I'm getting a better feel for it. And thanks to Sudarshan Swamin, who is sort of guiding me here and there to look at the right parts of the Śrī Bhāṣya and other things, to really get the feeling of what is this Aika Shastriya. That is, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda are one text for the Vishishtadvaitis, and probably Dvaitis also. And for Śaṅkarācārya, they are divorced in some way, and they are not Aika Shastra. So these concepts will pop up in these verses. That is the beauty about Bhagavad Gītā. The philosophical aspects of Brahma Sutras, they come here also. That is why we have to be very careful in understanding Madhva Bhāṣya. I'm doing a little bit more serious study of it. And also I have to study Madhva Bhāṣya's premise on the Brahma Sutras, which I have not studied. His Bhāṣya on the Brahma Sutra is known as Anubhāṣya. In the Anubhāṣya, in the Brahma Sutras, the first sutra is Athato Brahma Jignasa. Right? Now, we should learn about Brahman. So the inquiry about Brahman starts here. But what is this Atha? Means that Śaṅkaracārya says, after giving up karma, after thinking that the karma is useless because they only give you perishable fruits like heaven and some stuff here like good children and wealth and all those things. So you should completely give up karmas. Then you should look at, understand Brahman, he says. There's a subtle difference. But on the Rāmānuja.org, on the other hand, says, no, you have to go through karmas are necessary because nitya karmas are there. The essential, those karmas which can never be given up, those karmas are still there in the karma kanda. So you should not completely give up karma kanda. So karma kanda and jnana kanda are supporting each other to understand and to make us understand Brahman. So there is a difference of opinion between Rāmānuja and Madhva and Śaṅkaracārya there. Even Madhvācārya does not accept the viewpoint of Śaṅkaracārya. So look at how complex this verse is. This talks about the same Vedas and says that even the kamya karmas or the desire-oriented activities are even said, prescribed in the Vedas. And the same Veda says to give up and go and figure out what jnana is. So should we completely give up karmas, right? Obviously, Śaṅkaracārya says the ignorant do karmas. The ignorant ones who doesn't know the truth, they are getting into karmas. The one with knowledge do not have to get into karmas at all. They can ignore and walk. So they can give up everything given in the Vedas in the Karmakanda portion of it and only pick up the Upanishads and focus on the Upanishads. Look at how complex these thought processes are. We can study Bhagavad Gītā with just line to line, word to word. But if you don't have this mindset, oh, why are these people talking about here? So the study of the Brahma Sutras, study of the Upanishads, they're saying, oh, one person says, give up karmas completely to get there. One person says, no, you still have to keep on doing karmas. Give up only the kamya karmas, not the other karmas. What is the truth behind all these injunctions in the Vedas? That is understood by this section of the Bhagavad Gītā. Bhagavad Gītā is very simple, but it's summary, but it's wonderfully clear, given by Lord Kṛṣṇa himself. So, and I'm giving you the Vedanta as a one subject. Vedanta includes Brahma Sutras, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gītā. These are the three major textbooks of Vedanta. I'm just giving you the connectivity between them. I hope I'm not confusing you. Am I?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. You're very correct.
Thank you. So what I will do is stop for now and let us pick up next week, next Saturday. Go ahead. What is it?
This Madhva Bhāṣya is very interesting.
Yeah, it is very different. And many people, as far as I know, right, many people ignore Madhva Bhāṣya. They say, that is some extreme view. None of us want them, kind of a thing, right? For me, what it is I don't want to be influenced by my grandfather or my father or my family situation or my family relatives or anybody in understanding philosophy. I want to understand, every one of you can come to your own conclusions, but knowing different options. Why this Acharya is saying, understanding each Acharya is very valuable to me, that's all.
if we take Madhvācārya's views as not a whole concept together, then it does seem like he is taking an extreme view. But holistically, it doesn't seem that way. If you take it out of the context, then it seems like that.
Correct. Yeah. So he's basically bringing the essence and then pushing it into each of these verses in this in Bhagavad Gītā. So obviously he has thought through, right? Madhvācārya is no ordinary person. He has written bhāṣya on Rigveda, and no other acharya has written bhāṣyas on the Vedas, by the way, right? So obviously, great person, great acharya. We should understand acharya's perspective and figure out what you want to do, right? His personal decisions are yours. Okay. Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskaram.